A major security operation in Imo State has ended with 2 suspected kidnappers killed and 2 kidnapped victims rescued after a fierce gun battle between security operatives and a group of suspected kidnappers hiding inside a forest. According to Punch, the operation was launched after security authorities received intelligence indicating that kidnapped victims were being held in the forest. Police operatives, supported by local vigilantes, immediately mobilized to the location in an effort to rescue the victims and apprehend the suspected kidnappers. But as the security team entered the forest, the operation quickly turned into a gun battle. The suspected kidnappers reportedly opened fire on the approaching security personnel, forcing the operatives to engage them in a fierce exchange of gunfire. According to the Nigerian Police Force Public Relations Officer, Annie Iniedu, the encounter resulted in death of 2 suspected kidnappers. The hoodlums engaged the operatives in a gun duel, resulting in the neutralization of 2 kidnappers, while others escaped with gunshot injuries, he said. The operation, however, did not end with the death of the 2 suspects. Security operatives also managed to reach the location where the kidnapped victims were being held. 2 victims were rescued during the operation. The police said both victims were successfully rescued unharmed. Their rescue marks a major breakthrough for the security team, which had mobilized to the forest after receiving intelligence about their captivity. But the operation came with a heavy cost. A member of the local vigilante group who participated in the operation was shot during the confrontation. The vigilante sustained a serious gunshot injury and was taken to a hospital for treatment. Despite efforts to save his life, he was later confirmed dead. The police spokesperson described the death as regrettable, highlighting the danger faced by the security personnel and local vigilantes involved in the operation. Regrettably, 1 vigilante sustained a fatal gunshot injury and was confirmed dead at the hospital, Iniedu stated. The operation therefore produced 2 very different outcomes. 2 suspected kidnappers were killed. 2 kidnapped victims were brought to safety, but 1 vigilante member lost his life in the process. Meanwhile, other members of the kidnapping group reportedly managed to escape from the forest. According to the police, some of the fleeing suspects sustained gunshot injuries during the confrontation. Their escape has now triggered a fresh search for the remaining members of the group. Security operatives are expected to intensify efforts to locate the suspects who fled the scene and determine whether they are seeking medical treatment for the injuries sustained during the gun battle. The intelligence-led nature of the operation also demonstrates the importance of information gathering in effort to tackle kidnapping in the state. The police said the operation was launched after receiving intelligence about the location where the victims were being held. The information enabled security personnel and vigilantes to mobilize to the forest before the suspects could relocate the victims. The forest location also highlights the difficult terrain frequently exploited by kidnapping gangs. Remote forests can provide concealment for criminal groups and make rescue operations more difficult. In this case, however, the security team managed to penetrate the area and rescue the 2 victims. The operation is now expected to enter another phase as investigators work to establish the identity of the suspects who were killed and track down those who escaped. The State Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri has taken over the investigation. Investigators will be expected to examine the circumstances surrounding the kidnapping establish how long the victims had been held, and identify other members of the group who may have been involved. The rescued victims could also provide information to investigators about their abductors and the location where they were held. Their accounts could help security agencies understand how kidnapping operation was organized and identify the suspect who escaped during the gun battle. The police and other security agencies are also likely to examine the intelligence that led to the operation as they work to uncover more information about the criminal network. The incident comes amid continuing security concerns surrounding kidnapping and other violent crimes in parts of southeastern Nigeria. Criminal groups operating from isolated areas have continued to pose challenges to security agencies, particularly where difficult terrain provides opportunity for concealment. The latest operation shows how intelligence-led action can create an opportunity for security forces to confront such groups directly. In this case, the operation achieved its immediate objective. The two kidnapped victims were rescued alive, but the death of the vigilante member has also underscored the risk faced by local security volunteers who frequently work alongside the police during operations in difficult environments. The vigilante was part of the team that entered the forest in an attempt to rescue the victims. He ultimately paid the highest price for his involvement. His death has added a tragic dimension to an operation that otherwise resulted in the rescue of two people from captivity. For the suspected kidnappers who survived, the operation is far from over. Police authorities are expected to continue the search for the remaining members of the group, particularly those believed to have escaped with gunshot wounds. Hospitals and other medical facilities could also become important points of investigation as authorities attempt to identify injured suspects seeking treatment. The two rescued victims are now safe, while the investigation continues into the circumstances of the abduction. For investigators, the next objective will be to turn the breakthrough in the forest into a wider crackdown on the kidnapping network. Two suspects are dead. Others are reportedly injured and on the run. Two victims have been rescued, and one vigilante member has lost his life. The gun battle in the Imo forest has therefore opened a new chapter in the investigation, with security agencies now focused on identifying and arresting those who escaped. The state's Criminal Investigation Department in Owerri will continue handling the case as detectives work to piece together the events that led to the kidnapping, the forest confrontation, and the eventual rescue of the victims. For the families of the two rescued victims, however, the immediate priority is clear. Their loved ones are alive and back in safety. For the family of the fallen vigilante, the operation ended with a painful loss. And for security agencies, the mission now continues to track down the fleeing suspect and dismantle the kidnapping network responsible for the abduction. The forest may have provided the kidnappers with a hiding place, but the intelligence-led operation eventually brought security forces to their location, triggering the gun battle that left two suspects dead and two victims rescued. For more updates, stay with us on News Express. I am Cassie Tony.